Oh, did you make hotkeys in Twitch?
I did.
That's impressive.
I made hotkeys, so I press the button and there we go. I don't have to get up and like walk over there and start that shit.
Yeah.
Whoops! I hit the table with my knee.
Careful.
Okay, I got really excited there for a second. We'll see you guys.
This was fun. You can only hear Joseph and I now.
Welcome now to the 202nd Angry Cuddles podcast.
Yay.
My name is Steven. Joining me today is Madman Mike.
Yay.
Jovial John Mosley.
How's it going?
Jovial.
Yeah. He's alliterative. He's generally jovial.
Madman Mike.
Unless Calvin's here. And
Don't give me an alliteration.
joining us today is artist from Angry Cuddles.
Yo.
Joseph Valero.
I don't know, what to...
Joseph Valero the third. You can look that way.
Yeah, okay.
Look that way. Stuff.
What about what was with you as always?
With me as always. I did skip that. I should have.
I'm sorry, it's mad when we break format.
I've ruined it.
No, it was.
I have a
worried.
thing like typically when I start, is I do the joke of with me as always, where people would typically say with me as always are my co-hosts or whatever. I say with me as always is something else, and joining me today is the people. Except last week I did that sports thing where I said, my name is Steven, and we're in here talking about practice. Amanda's who we thought she were, and don't ask Crystal about the playoffs. Anyway,
I'm sure this is fun for everybody listening.
They were here last
now.
week. Hey. So I had it. Brandy told me, she's like, you have a lot to do with the podcast when it goes video. You should make a checklist. Make sure you've changed the name of it, that you've changed the game that you're playing, make sure that the audio is working, and do your tests and stuff. And I was like, no, I got it down now.
Did you tell her to not tell you what to do?
I told her, get the fuck away from me.
How about you fuck off, huh? How about you fuck off a little?
And so, a little. I was like, no, I think I got it down. Because the thing that we fucked up last week when we talked about Avengers and Mad Max and sexism was I forgot to change the name of the stream. So it said Masters of the First Sin and that we were playing Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. Perfect. All these people are looking in for Dark Souls 2 play.
The point here is that I remembered everything of the checklist except the with me as always. She was right, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, pros behind the scenes. The guy with the headphones on behind the camera is like
the producer.
Thing. He's got the clipboard.
Those are producers.
With
the
me,
producer.
With me as always is a post-con depression, really.
Oh, no.
Right.
Here's the thing. It was
we'll
fun.
get into that.
FanExpo, and First, I want to start with a story that's from 2 weeks ago, because I started telling it on the last podcast, and then we got sidetracked.
Because the newspaper isn't good enough.
We went to Shreveport last week, and my friend Megan and I got up in the morning. We were going to go down and play blackjack. Mm-hmm. So we go to the elevators, and we hit down, and one elevator comes down that's full of people about to check out. I'm like, okay, we'll take the next one. Next elevator opens up, and there's an Eldorado worker, wiping down the floor and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, okay, this one's nice and clean.
I'm sorry, senor, please do not come in. It's very, very cummy.
You're not too far off.
Ding, 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 ding.
She said, hey guys, this elevator's closed while I clean up the poop. And I went, we won't be coming to there. We'll wait for the next one then.
I mean, I think you'll be coming in there if you're into scat or whatever.
I was like, man, someone must have lost really big, and Megan goes, or won really big.
How bad would you have to lose that you're just like, fuck it, just like drop trout, just be like, oh, fuck you, Eldorado.
How excited you have to be, just like,
yes! I'll buy new elevators.
So, I'm going to pull this over to you guys a little bit.
I'll get new legs.
We spent this last weekend at FanExpo, which is a spin-off of Dallas Comic-Con at the K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center in Dallas. We were there all weekend. Mike was there Saturday, Joseph was there Sunday. And what did you guys think? Oh, if you're joining us from FanExpo, if you found us there and are watching us now, welcome. Howdy.
That one person.
We didn't get a like from
Hi,
FanExpo. What was your experience like, Mike?
it was cool. It wasn't as like, no, just shut up. I'm forming thoughts in my head right now. So
it was fine. Everything was great.
At the other cons, it's like there's like the rooms where you go and like go into this room and there's the I didn't really see that. There was the huge like go meet the celebrity area, and then everything else was just like the showroom, you know.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting new experience.
They had panels and rooms and stuff elsewhere in the convention center on other floors. Like, you had other events going on. We never fucking saw them because we were sitting at the table.
Yeah.
But Mike and I got interviewed about our podcast, about this here, from two guys with PhDs, Unconventional Comics. Was that it?
Two guys with PhDs.
Damn it.
Wait, is that the name of the podcast? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Unconventional Comics.
That's pretty cool.
I thought he was just like naming their like achievements.
No. Anyway, they
one of them rescued a dog.
We are on their podcast today. That went up. We have a link on our Facebook page that I posted. If you want to go listen to it, they interviewed a bunch of people at FanExpo, and we were one of them. What about you, Joseph? What was it like for you on Sunday?
I really do wish that I could have been a part of it a little bit more. I get such a high from going to those things that I forget like how much fun I have. Not being just a person that goes to like a visitor, but somebody who actually a contributor of it, an exhibitor or whatever you call them, booth owner, and I feel like I'm sort of in my element. You know, I really want to just be there with everybody.
Yeah. That'll come up in a second.
So, but yeah, what I really do want is that we're the guys that we're sitting next to, some like established artists and published artists, which he could not fucking.
So there were two
get
guys
out
next to us.
enough how much he was published.
Muhammad Jelani, who was really nice.
That guy
and
was
sweet
cool as
and
shit.
Talked to us, was really cool.
Super cool.
And then Jeremy Clark was with him. They went in on a table duo. And Jeremy Clark's actually been published and has worked with other comic artists in the actual comic industry doing stuff.
And he's good.
And
I'm not trying to take away from his art, but he's good.
But he couldn't possibly give a shit about us. Like Muhammad would talk to us.
Yeah.
And Jeremy was busy doing real published person things. Couldn't be arsed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is fine. He's earned it.
Like we actually drop a pencil near his leg, and it's like, oh, could you pick that up? He's like, fuck off. Like that's what he would be. You know?
It wasn't even like the generosity of a fuck off. It was more like it was just
like like as we're going to pick it up, he like whips out his dick and starts pissing on us. Like,
probably just a fine guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
But
definitely the best of the best. But anyways, so there's those guys there, and it was we were talking about it after we left yesterday for the con that he was talking to Steven saying like, oh, this is like my 11th con, this is my 11th week in a row just having to do this. This is my life now, and we're just discussing how awesome would that be, like, to just like have your workaday schedule and then just like on the weekends, I got this other con to go to, I got this other con to go to.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to do it every weekend.
It'd be fascinating.
He had become exhausted with how many cons he'd been doing, and it is exhausting. Like one weekend, I go home very tired and stuff. But if we could even get to the point where we were invited to cons instead of having to pay for a table, it doesn't even matter to me how much we sell at that point. I just like being there.
Yeah.
But this is what happened is Saturday night after I got home, I went to go run some errands and pick up some stuff for the table. Like we got a little neat portfolio now for our prints and stuff. And as I'm driving around like the Target area here in Fort Worth, I would look at people and sort of try to make eye contact with them like you do at cons. Like either your costume is cool or we all share a link, which is that we're nerds of some variety. We all have in common FanExpo. And I realized while I was out there, I was like, these people don't give a shit about me. Like, I have no links to any of these people, whereas when you're at a con, you have some link to everyone there.
Yeah.
And so it felt very, like, jarring.
Yeah, I actually made the mistake today at work of like, hey, you're the fat guy from Lost. How's it going? He's like, no, I'm just a fat guy. I'm like, oh.
No, I'm just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was telling Steven this,
Professor
that like...
right? No, I'm paraplegic. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Even the guys that you, like, try to make eye contact with, like, in the real world where they can give a shit about you. Like, I was trying so hard to, like, engage the people that were walking past our booth, and literally every time they're like walking past our booth and they kind of glance over to see what the hell's going on with Angry Cuddles. I look at him in the eyes, and as soon as I look him in the eyes, like everything else is more important because everybody there is so antisocial.
Part of it is an introversion
that introverted part of them is like.
The other part of it is that we are salesmen, and if I'm walking through Artist Alley and I'm like, oh shit, I just looked at that guy, he's gonna try and sell me something.
Hey, you buy, yes, you buy.
Have a pork bun.
We were definitely a small fish in a very big lake there, and so
fucking ocean.
We have signed up and we'll be attending Dallas Comic Con proper.
Be prepared, Dallas Comic Con, because Anchor Cuddles is going to be there in full force.
I'm going to roll out a bunch of shit. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have a lot of interactive shit for people to do. Because sitting there, I have talked about this with Joseph. I assumed that what happened at Anime Fest and what would happen at Free Comic Book Day would happen on a bigger scale by virtue of being there. There'd be enough people there that would walk by us, see us, and be like, oh, what's this? But that's not the case. There's so much shit there that we get drowned out really easy.
Oh, yeah. So people just pass by.
Yeah. So we'll do shit like get out there and be like, hey, everybody, if anybody comes and buys anything, they get a free Star Fox comic. Or if you take a picture with us, you get half off of anything you want. You know, stuff like that. And like, come over here. We're about to punch Joseph in the nuts. He's asking for it. You know?
Yeah.
Whoa. I didn't sign up for this shit. Like,
one free punch, people.
And Cal says, do a raffle. Hello, Corporate Cal. Cal's been in our chat now. And
he showed up yesterday, and
Corporate Cal was there yesterday.
There's a joke that I started doing. Like anytime I saw him, like as soon as I make eye contact with him, I'd like hide underneath.
He would dive, like to try to hide behind him. Even though he obviously knew we were there.
Oh God!
I don't know if you noticed that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call him out on this because I thought it was fucking hilarious. So yesterday, whenever he showed up, he goes, "Hey man, I went to the restroom and all like the people that I came with, they just like disappeared." And I was like, "Oh man, that sucks." He's like, "All right, well I'm gonna go find them." And he goes off, and I turned to Steven and I go, yeah, they probably just like as soon as he goes into the restroom, they're just like, let's fuck off, all right?
Let's get the hell out of here.
It's like, I think I lost my friends. No, I think they intentionally lost you.
There was one point where
love that guy.
They had mugs of soda. Yeah, we love you. We love you, Calvin. We make fun of you because.
Okay, so I explained to Steven yesterday that Calvin is everybody's younger brother.
He's everybody's little brother.
He is.
That's why we give him cookies. Yeah, that's why we do it. It's because he's everybody's younger brother.
You shove him into the locker, you take blood from him while he's sleeping and clone him, and
you take a kidney or two.
Throw him in a nice bath.
It's all in good fun, man. But the mugs. So these mugs.
Tell them the mugs.
Right. So there's these mugs that you can buy. It's like a huge thing of mug, and you buy it for $25, and like for the day or for the weekend, whoever you are, you get free soda refills.
Oh, so and it's all like the caffeine and sugar.
The whole weekend.
Yeah, so, and it's like these old-fashioned style root beers, like different flavors, black cherry, vanilla, whatever. And so I was sitting behind the table, and Calvin comes by, and Steven was gone. He was like trying to sign us up for Dallas Comic Con. So he comes by, and he's like, hey, man, want me to grab you a refill because you can't leave? I was like, oh, that's great. Thanks.
What a stand-up guy.
What a fucking guy. Yeah, badass. So I give it to him, and he walks off. And, like, 5 minutes pass by, and Steven comes back. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, oh, Calvin stopped by. Got me a soda refill. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, pretty sure he just stole it. Like,
just taking the mug.
Yeah. We're getting to a point now.
No. I'm sure. He's not that kind of a guy. And then, like, another 3 minutes pass by. I'm like, well, that's it.
I've called it. He stole my mug. Oh, there he is. Like, at the instant that he was about to call it.
As soon as I gave up, like, he turns the corner. I was like, oh, fucking A. There he is.
Those lines got pretty long for the soda.
Yeah, yes,
they did. So we picked up a few things while we're there. This sign here, we took it. We took it.
Yeah, we didn't know.
What are they going to do with it, right?
Exactly. They'll throw it.
Actually, what they could easily do with it is they have like a...
We don't need your shit in our ass.
Now
they've just labeled like one of the bathrooms Angry Cuddles.
I work at
a... So there's a nifty sign. Michael, I got Michael an early birthday gift. This is a Mandalorian tie.
Let's
what is Mandalorian?
Mandalorian is basically if you take the Spartans, like the historical Spartans, and you put them in Star Wars, there you go, Mandalorian.
They're the Spartans of the Star Wars universe, more or less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Warrior race, they value fighting above anything, like they trial by combat, stuff like that.
Boba Fett is a Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I'm there. Okay.
And Crystal from the Sci-Fi Factory, Crystal and Chuck from the Sci-Fi Factory went and got me a tie because they were out of it the day I went. And so they got me this nifty...
Ooh.
Nice.
It's an umbrella tie.
Look at that.
So cool. An umbrella tie. Yes,
that's right.
I forget we do have an audio component to this as well as video.
It just opens up into the actual umbrella portion.
It gets really close to the camera. I don't know if you can see it, if it's in focus or whatever.
I'll set that right now. We are, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures of cool stuff. Mm-hmm. If you're in the audio version of our podcast, bear with us. There's a video component now. We're going to make use of it. So we are going up. I think that did it. Yes. I think so.
No.
Probably.
I don't know.
I'm going to check. I'm going to check the preview. Yes. Okay, great. That looks weird, but now we're back. So we're going to Inception there.
We're showing now what's on the screen instead of us.
So
right?
We have
show and tell.
Yeah, show and tell.
Okay.
We're on this.
Mike, if you could, as we do things, explain them.
Yeah,
Here,
Just in case we forget what's going on.
I'm
right
learning
here. See,
what's going on. Okay.
This is what it looks like. Okay, so we're still there. We're still there. We've got pictures up though.
Explain it. Okay.
So,
Maybe you didn't understand that was a question of me figuring out what was going
what's
on.
happening? So
I can see how that's confusing though.
the first thing here is the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Yeah, that thing's hot. Super hot.
It's real pretty.
It was pretty badass.
Man.
We have okay, that they've got it muddy and stuff is really cool. Then
They actually drove that through the elevator at El Dorado, and it's just shit.
it's just shit all
It's
over
just
it.
poof.
Whoop, not that way. Okay, this is what our booth looks
Imagine
like.
if that was like a picture of Steven naked.
I knew I was going to do that too. I knew in my head that I was going to screw that up. This is what our table looked like before Joseph got to it and before we made some adjustments and stuff. This was
What the fuck does that mean?
before you made it better.
Oh,
He posted that on Facebook. He's like, this is what it looks like before Joseph fixes it.
I know.
Fair enough.
I think he's just trying to slight me. That's just
Man,
the
this
Jew in
thing
me. I'm
looks-
sorry.
This thing looks good.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
It's like professional.
This is the land speeder from Star Wars. I do not know if it's a replica or the actual prop. I'm going to guess that it's the actual prop because I
mean,
want it to be.
Yeah.
In either case, it started making noises and shit.
Rev up and
Yeah.
Anytime something spins up, I associate that with imminent bad.
Yeah, like
Something
it's like
bad's
a
about to
bomb
happen.
is gonna
Yeah.
explode. It did sound like that.
I was like, run!
There's never a time where anything spins up and it's good. It doesn't shoot lollipops.
Watch all movies.
Yeah. So,
Candy for everyone.
if that sign there on the left, if you paid $20, you could sit in it and take pictures.
yeah,
but,
take a
you know.
picture. But yeah,
No, they're like, no photography. Just sit.
just
enjoy yourself.
Enjoy the moment.
Oh, okay.
It'll be more precious that way.
And okay, so back there is Baymax, and
Oh,
I
yes.
really love Big Hero 6.
I've never seen it.
I liked it quite a bit.
What I
And that was
immediately
a good-
noticed whenever I saw this picture was the Wolverine circa '92.
Yes, just to the right of
Oh.
Baymax, you see the
he's
animated
getting ready.
Wolverine.
He's like,
Yeah, he's gonna.
But that Baymax was an air-operated whatever he was wearing,
Yeah.
so that's not like all fluff. That is an actual inflation.
Well, it's like one of those balloon things,
Like sumo
Yeah,
wrestling.
sumo wrestler suits, or even like the clown
Yeah.
pant suits.
Hey,
Those are
Viking
really-
205, thanks for joining us.
What's up, man?
We are located in Texas. We're in North
El Tejas.
DFW
Fort
area.
Worth. Yeah, DFW.
Double
But yeah,
W.
the Baymax was really impressive. There are a tremendous amount of cosplayers, and so we don't have a shitload of photos because we were at the table the whole time.
Yeah.
It's basically whatever passed.
Whatever you could see from your vantage.
Yeah, right.
This is me and Mike on Saturday.
Hey,
Mike-
Mike was
Mike was
half,
so excited to be alive.
he was
Look at
half
him.
waving at Crystal and half being goofy.
I
So-
was waving at Crystal.
Whenever this picture,
Steven
I
was
saw this
taking
on
a selfie.
Facebook, right?
Steven
I
took some
immediately
very good
thought you were
pictures of
trying to be a retarded child.
Oh.
Yay! Like that. Smile for the camera, Mike. Okay.
No, I was just waving at someone being nice.
It's Mike next to the Mach 5.
Dude, that Mach 5 was fucking slick.
Yeah, it's slick looking. It is
thing looks
nasty.
good.
Oh my god.
They're in the trunk. What was in the trunk?
Oh, there was a little monkey and
And a
a
stand.
stuffed monkey and a stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the show, there's always that little kid and his monkey stowing away
Yeah.
in the fucking
Chip
trunk.
Chip.
So you just hit the trunk eject button. Kill him.
Oh my god.
I mean, what? No.
To the left and just behind it is a version of Ecto 1. It's like
Oh,
a concept
okay.
version. It's not the actual Ecto 1.
I
So
wonder if
was
that's
a
going to be
little-
the Ecto 1 that's going to be in the new Ghostbusters.
That was the other thing
female-
that I thought might.
Yeah, I think that
possibly.
might be the concept for the new movie.
But what someone told me, and I can't remember who it was, maybe it was the Sci-Fi Factory, but they said that there's a person that created that version, like what an updated Ecto 1 would look like.
Oh, okay.
And that was like their thing. They do these car stuff. Also, Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters was there on Sunday, right? We passed by
Yeah,
him?
he was on Sunday.
Yeah. And so, like, I looked at him and everything. I didn't really want to go talk to him because he was kind of a sexist asshole about the female Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
No,
I
thanks.
don't want to go back.
So
Honestly, his line was not
really,
long either.
I
Like, there
really
was, like, a
wanted
couple of people
to
there.
go in there and just like ask him like what his thoughts were about the whole Bill Cosby thing.
Why?
Just to fuck with him.
Oh, hey man, like a controversy
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with his controversy.
How do you feel about Benghazi?
I mean, a little bit. A little has to do with his controversy. The fact that he's a female piece of shit.
Oh,
and
okay,
like
the sexist piece of
yeah,
shit.
and,
and
then
a
also
rapist
Bill
piece of
Cosby.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I guess I see the Venn diagram there.
Also, they're black.
Is oh my.
Joseph,
Shut up.
That was wrong.
Let's move on, guys. Come on. What's the TARDIS?
Wait, let's take a minute and point out Joseph's racist.
Hold on, stop. Put the brakes on this.
Oh, I'm racist.
This is a lie.
Those are facts, sir.
That's true.
Those are facts.
But that one would have to do with the other is racist, right?
Yeah.
You made it racist.
Okay.
I just pointed out some facts.
This is a life-size TARDIS. It has a little phone in there, and I wanted to walk in, but I didn't because I was
If
scared.
you
I
walk
was
in,
shy.
you actually drop through the floor into a meat grinder.
It is bigger on the inside, apparently.
I did it.
What was the... I don't know if you wanted to say
Nope,
this.
I don't.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys that later.
It'll be off...
There are some astromech droids. I can only mention a couple
Astromech.
guys. Astromech droids. A few of them were running around. There's sort of a black and red R2-D2,
Yeah.
or maybe not R2, but maybe it's a different term back behind him. And he was running around, running into people.
Those things were
Like,
fucking
what the
legit.
hell?
Yeah. Like, he had,
That's
like...
cool.
I don't know if they intentionally programmed, like, personality in them, and the AI's that good, but yeah, the R2 unit was being a dick to
Like, kind
everybody.
of being a dick.
Like in, like, the movies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is after Joseph gets to our... See, we have the little portfolio now. We have the little framed
Nice.
thing there.
Yeah, so that's what I did.
He was specifically at this point saying, don't just take a picture of me, you should be in the picture as well.
Over here. Yeah.
But this is after Joseph got to it. And then this is with me and him being very excited about the final day.
That's good.
Then you found some assassinos.
Okay, so
Assassinos.
my thing with cons is that I always like to find assassins and have them assassinate me. Like the one that we did at
Oh, there was a shitload of them at Enemy
yeah,
Fest.
at Enemy Fest we had so many. I think I have like 10 pictures of different assassins assassinating me. So I love taking these pictures.
My favorite one was the Link.
Yeah, there's a
Link
Link.
assassin.
There's a Link assassin. Also, there was a Deadpool assassin.
Deadpool assassin, yeah.
That was pretty badass.
Neat.
Let's see. There's the black R2 unit running into people. Like he would just like bump into people, and they'd be like, "What the?" And just go.
So I'm gonna have to say this. He was bumping into people and stealing their wallets. I'm sorry. Move on.
Just grabbing money from him. Let's see. And then the final one is
Lightsaber
this one.
claws.
Lightsaber claws, Jedi
cool.
Wolverine.
Right.
That's not something I
That's-
thought of.
Okay.
Very legit.
So let me tell you a story about this guy.
Yeah,
all right.
go for
so,
it, Joseph.
So I took this picture, right? Because I thought it was hilarious. Daniel is a really big fan
My
of
brother
Jedi.
Daniel
Yeah.
loves Star Wars and Jedi.
Hates
fucking hates
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
He thinks he's an overrated piece of shit.
Yeah.
So Steven,
He's
like,
also a huge Cyclops fan.
yes, he is.
There was a girl Cyclops in that
oh my goodness, in the
animated,
92 version,
92
yeah.
animated version, and she was
She was amazing at it. But this picture, so I finally, he's passing by our booth. I was like, "Hey man, can I take a picture of you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I take a picture of him, and as I take a picture of him, he goes, "Hey, you want to like my page?" I was like, "Sure, man."
It was almost like, yeah, I'll do that if you like my page.
Yeah. He goes, "You want to take a picture?" He's like, "Yeah, if you like my page." I was like, "Fucking okay." So I take the picture, and he's like, I'm like looking through my phone, like, "Oh, let me get to Facebook real quick," and he's like spelling out his name. It's like fucking retarded or whatever. And he was standing there waiting for validation and
Waiting for the
verification
transaction to complete
Yeah,
so that he
before
can
he
take the
moves
picture.
on. He fucking Facebook bullied me.
That's
Yeah,
weird. That makes me uncomfortable.
Yes, it made me super uncomfortable. And I didn't want to say what I wanted to say, which was,
Nah.
yeah, I'll do it. And then, like, are you going to do this? Like, fuck off, whatever.
Nah.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
do it. But I was there representing Angry Cuddles, and I can't just be like, ooh, fuck you, piece of shit. And
I
then
will,
be like,
I will flip side this. If you're a cosplayer, like people take pictures of you all the time, especially if you're any good, and so you spend a lot of time standing there and posing, and you get some exposure because those things get around, but it was a little off-putting. I also understand, like, it would be great if you would like my page. Like, if we could do something for each other here.
Yeah.
But the way that he did it, it wasn't that he asked, like, I'd also, like, this takes up a lot of time and energy. It would be so awesome to me if you liked my page.
not only that.
You got it, man.
Not only that, but I was like, hey, man, so I liked your shit. Here's my business. I pulled up business cards. Like, find us on Angry Cuddles. Take a look at our webpage and our Facebook and like it. And he did not even make eye contact with me. He takes off his claws. He grabs it. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And he puts it in his pocket and then he leaves. I'm like, what a twat.
Yeah, Corporate Cal says, you should have unliked it immediately after. But we were specifically giving him the window of opportunity
Yeah, so
to like us
I
back
was-
and be cool.
I was going to give him the opportunity later today. If he does not like our page, I will unlike. I'll take that like back.
Be cool, man.
But it was a badass costume.
Don't make
I
a cool
forget.
costume and be a not cool person.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's
it's Wolverine. He's going to be a dick.
I guess it's Wolverine.
Bub.
But man, Don't be that into costume. Don't be
that into your costume.
But yeah, so that was our Fan Expo experience. We will be at
Dallas Comic-Con
in October 16, 17, 18, and we're going to roll out a bunch of shit for that, so stay tuned.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely
do stuff.
Keep up with our Facebook page, keep up with our Twitter. We're going to be exposing a lot of things that we're going to be doing differently at this next con.
A lot of genitalia.
Yeah.
Exposing ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
All over the place.
It's probably actually, the marketing is mostly genitals based, I'd say.
I mean, it would have to be.
We're trying a new platform.
It's a new platform.
Angry Cuddles.
Dick.0 is the platform.
Instead of angrycuddles.com, it's going to be angrycuddles.com.
So we're going to go through the last week or so in a couple of gaming bits, news, headlinesy things like we normally do. First of all, how Resident Evil was remastered for the new systems. The classic GameCube, the remake on GameCube was then remastered for new systems. Resident Evil 0 is being put in HD on the new systems.
Yay!
Oh, really? Xbox One, I think. Mike wanted to address Capcom real quick. You don't have to read an entire letter, but I want you to give your...
Capcom, I already know you're not going to remaster you're not going to HDify the cutscenes, okay? But I'm asking you to, all right?
Yeah.
If you did, that'd be really awesome, and I would totally buy that game and probably, all the other games that you've remastered since. But I know you're not going to.
Yeah. So we dare you, Capcom.
I dare you.
This is the thing: is they like HD Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 was one of the big offenders, where like the game is gorgeous, it plays great on my 360 or whatever, and then you get to a cutscene and it looks like absolute fucking trash because they didn't HD
fuzzy
the cutscene.
And bad and
It's the same resolution. The cutscenes are the same resolution as they were back then. At this point, will look like trash, especially compared to the game around it. So
that's weird.
I wonder
why they do that. I guess
they took a few gameplays out of EA's handbook.
It's starting to piss us off. Like, it's such a shorthand.
It might be a lot of work to do, sure, but you're releasing a game
that's already made.
How much?
It's already been made that you're specifically marketing as a high definition re-release, and it's not all high definition.
I'm starting to have my issues with those re-releases just in general. That I hate it already that the movie industry has no more movies to make. They've already made all the movies that they can make, and they're just remaking old movies. That's what they've been doing for the past 20 years.
Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out like 2 years ago. Remake.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Reboot.
The Spider-Man reboot is 2017 now, so we got a couple of years.
Not even that, but what is it? Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt movie. That was a fucking remake of a movie from the 50s.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a remake. Yep. That was a remake. There's been a lot of remakes because there's no original stories to write. They've all been written already. And I think the gaming industry is already starting to feed into that there's a lot of remakes and HDs because of the new platforms that are being made, that they know that they can get more money out of it rather than actually taking the time to make a new game. So they're starting to fall, and that's the pattern that Nintendo has traveled into, that they're essentially remaking the same game.
Yep, Corporate Cal says there's a Point Break remake coming out. And I never saw the original Point Break. Was
Point
it Keanu?
Break. Keanu and Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Keanu.
Yeah, man.
But there's a remake of that. But I will, on the other side of that, I like that they re-release games and HD them because my old systems either don't work or I've gotten rid of them, and then sometimes I want to go back and play them, and now I can. I can keep my library all together, and that's great. I just want them to actually give a shit about it and not just crap it out.
I want them to remake GoldenEye because I tried playing it on the N64
Oh, it's impossible.
and I cannot do that at all. It was I'm just like running into the wall.
How did we do that? It's fuzzy. It hurts my head. Like
infinite time. We just
infinite time.
The little nub, the joystick
really
on it has
pressure.
like no more action. It's like a limp dick, just kind of like there.
Tilt the kids.
Tick, tick.
Were there any remasters, remakes? Not reboots, not like, DMC was to Devil May Cry, but like a reissue, an HDify or whatever you want to call it, that you really did love. I really love the Resident Evil remake.
Man, those are just...
because I played through it
but those Resident
times.
Evil GameCube remakes are like, that is what you
solid
do.
gameplay, though.
That is what you do if you're remaking a game. You play those games again on PlayStation? That's a rough time, man.
Yeah.
Like, for one thing, the controls are a little bit more. I mean, I think the GameCube's a great controller, but they really did a lot with how everything. They didn't just re-up like the polys that were used. They from the ground up were just like frame for frame. Let's make this HD.
Yeah.
I don't think any game remake has ever gotten that kind of treatment.
There have been. So there's a difference between a remake and a reboot, and there's a difference between an up-res and a remake.
Mm-hmm.
So Resident Evil on GameCube was a remake.
Yes.
They retold like the same story, but with a brand new engine and everything.
Yeah.
Then they ported it to like Xbox One and PS4 and 360 and stuff, and that's an HD-ifying it. And then a reboot is like what DMC was to Devil May Cry, where they sort of start over the story again, and sort of make a new company making it their own, covering similar beats, but it's just different.
Yeah.
But so if any up-reses that really did you do any of the Final Fantasy up-reses on PC?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
They don't look that much better. Like the Final Fantasy VIII one, that's kind of a rough looking game these days because they didn't go with like a stylized. They went for like a more realistic look, and it's sort of like. Ugh.
So 7 you'll forgive more because they all kind of look like Legos anyway.
And I haven't played the 7 one, but I played the 8 one, and I was like, all right, this is cool. It's pretty much just an up-res. But the music wasn't up-resed. Like it's like.
No.
Compressed music files, and there's a patch that fixes it. But like when they first released the game, it was like,
someone was pointing out that they packaged Final Fantasy X and X-2 into an up-res, and they put it out on PS3 and Vita, and they just put it on PS4. On PS4, there are a few very minor things that almost ruin the experience. One, the RNG, the random number generator, doesn't work. It's not random. The player that I read on, I think, Destructoid, or it may have been Ars Technica or Polygon or something, but I think it was Destructoid. He could, in replays, tell you exactly when what was going to land or not, and where the random battles would be. Like, this is where it happens. That fucks it up.
For some, there's been a few things that I've been looking up as I've been like playing my game, going through my Pathfinder game. There's some like dice rolling apps that you can have on your phone, on your iOS device, your Android device, that I try to stay away from because I started doing a little bit of research on them. And there's actually like, I don't know if this is entirely true, but just based off the things that I've read from different sources, is that you cannot have a programmed random dice roll because it is literally impossible for a program to be that random.
I've wondered about that. I've wondered about the random number generators and the algorithms that go into them. So it's a little thing in the background. For the most part, I do sort of trust them. But like when we ran a game with Peter, he said you can't use virtual dice. He just didn't want us to do it.
Yeah.
So there's this Dilbert comic that I read some time ago, and it's fucking hilarious. Where Catbert takes, I think, Dogbert down to like the depths of hell, and he goes, "Look at our random number generator," and it's this like little goblin looking thing, and he's just going 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and he just keeps saying 9. He goes, "How is that a random number generator?" It's like, we really can't tell.
The other thing about the 10 and 10-2 remix was that in 10, what happens is there's a music track that plays like in the background if you're running around Besaid or something, whatever, and it is supposed to, when you go into battle and back out or whatever, pick up where the song left off, but it doesn't. So every time you go back, you hear the beginning of the same 7 seconds or whatever again. And so those kind of very little things can mess up. But were there any HD, not remakes, but HD up-reses that you either were excited about or really loved when you played them?
I played the crap out of the RE4 up-res.
Oh, yeah.
100% of that one.
Yep.
Like, even did the stuff that I never did, like...
A little shooting gallery and collecting figures and shit.
Finishing it on Pro, on Professional. I never finished it on Professional before, but, like, that one, man.
That's a good game.
Did it.
Really good game.
4 was good.
The DS is starting to come out with a lot of those, like N64 remakes.
Yeah.
Like the Ocarina of Time. I know that the Majora's Mask just came out.
Yeah, those are up-reses. They're not entire remakes.
I think they are remakes.
Are they remakes?
I'm playing through Ocarina right now.
That's like that. I think that's like a gray area where they have added some stuff into
but
it, but it's still the same
mostly
engine.
Did, like, I feel like they redid like the polygons on Link and Ocarina.
Oh yeah, like
the
he
characters
looks
are like
good. The characters in that game look fantastic.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Maybe they, I don't know, made it nice.
The Nintendo, I think, really does care about their games. Whatever you want to say about Nintendo, and I didn't get the Wii U. I'm done after the Wii, unless they give me like a really compelling reason. I'm more or less done with Nintendo in general. But they give a shit about their games.
Yeah.
Like, they really craft them. I don't much care for them, mostly. Like Mario Galaxy was the last Mario game I played, the first one in space on the Wii. Yeah. And I loved Mario 64. It's so much fucking fun, and I was like, I'm ready to go. And I was like, got sick of it.
Yeah.
Anyway. They also released...
Just like that.
I just want to shit on that for a bit.
Sort of almost randomly. So this is kind of funny. Last week, they were like, by the way, guys, it's been leaked that Halo ODST is going to be available to download for the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One, which is Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4 all put together. And now we're releasing ODST, and you can download it at that and there. Also, if you were one of the early adopters of the game, because we kind of fucked the game really hard, you get it for free. You get ODST for free if you were an early, one of the first couple months.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it was leaked that it was coming out like last Thursday, and 343 and Microsoft were like, no, that's not true. That's just rumor. Sorry, it was just a placeholder. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it came out on Friday instead of Thursday, so it popped out there.
Way to fuck with your audience.
It really jacked you. But and even if you do pay for it, like, it's only $4.99. So $4.99 for what was an entire standalone game as an add-on to a game, I think is great.
Oh yeah.
My problem with that is that it's called the Master Chief Collection, and Master Chief's not in that game, so it shouldn't be allowed.
That's true. That is a solid.
I don't really feel
you're thinking of it. What it is that it's like if Master Chief were to have a collection of anything, it would be this. It is his collection that you're getting. Yeah.
Okay, the things that he likes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
very meta
like
because
that goddamn LeBron Sprite. I took Sprite and I like it, and I threw in orange and cherry. Why not? Okay.
Thanks, man. Cool.
Sweet.
I bet it tastes good.
What did you go to a 7-Eleven and like go like on 3 different sheets?
Yeah.
You made a suicide.
Yeah.
That was a Sprite.
Damn, this is good.
LeBron, you're funny. But yeah, so I thought that's exactly the price. Like, that's a good price for a full add-on. That's a phenomenal add-on.
That's
great.
I think that's undervalued, really. I mean, like, I think
they could have gotten 15 bucks from
that.
They
could have gotten $10 off that.
I think that it might have actually ended up being $9.99 or $14.99 if they hadn't already fucked up the collection so bad. So they gave it away for free. I was like, look, let's just do it for $5 and people might forgive us.
Yeah.
And they've fixed a lot of shit since then. And I read diaries and stuff there where they're talking about, look,
diaries?
Dear diary.
Yeah, like
I
their
really
video,
feel like I messed that up.
Vid docs and stuff like that, stuff like that. Where they're like, here's the thing. Making Halo 5 is a challenge because you're doing new engines and new stuff and new technology. But this was a whole different challenge because you're taking essentially 4 different engines and putting them all on one disc and getting them to talk to each other and everything. And we thought we had it, and we didn't, and we're sorry. And I was sort of like, okay, I accept.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted.
Because
this entire time, I'm thinking that they're like some 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jamie will ever like me.
You think Brad will actually ask me to prom this time?
Blogs, would you have preferred that term?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. It's still funny.
Maybe that would have worked better. The other thing that I thought was neat, technologically, is that they started rolling out, and that's a pun when you hear the rest of it.
Transformers.
No. Autobots. Roll out.
Samus.
TVs, giant TVs that are placed on the wall like a magnet. They're wallpaper TVs, essentially. So you can, like, roll them, and they're very, very thin, and they go up on the wall like on a magnet. And they're not 4K TVs, so that was, like, one thing that the reviewer had, like, an issue. Like, just make them the highest, or just, why use the old resolution? But whatever. And so you can transport them. They're very flat on the wall.
I like the idea that somebody's like, we have this rollout TV, but it's not 4K. It's only 720p. It's like, well, what the fuck's the point then?
We're so... We're so spoiled.
Yeah, calm down, guys. All right,
about
let's
our new
like,
technology.
It's like but if you're taking the steps technologically moving forward, like take all of the stuff with you, like.
Yeah,
maybe they're working on.
Well, it's a development phase. Like you have to have your Mark 1 before you get to your Mark 3 and have the suit that you're wanting.
Iron Man.
I guess.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
The TVs are supposed to be available commercially later this year, between 55 and 99 inches.
Well, I'm not gonna get it if it's 4K.
I'm gonna get a tube, like and just keep it on my back all the time. And people are like, "Is that your TV?" Yeah, but it'll be empty. So I won't have a TV in there. I'll just tell people it's my
they'll
TV.
transport them in tubes?
I bet, because you
They
roll
might.
them up, right? And so it would go in a
You'd
tube.
have to.
I would think
I
the
think-
more times that you would roll them up, the more you would risk like damaging any of the internal.
I mean,
I don't know how it works.
they've shown some like
Flex screens.
paper flex screens and phones and stuff, and
Yeah, Samsung and I think Philips or some like Japanese TV people.
Corey says only 99 inches. That's garbage.
Fuck, it's in the bag, right?
Jesus, like if it's not going to be a whole fucking wall,
Yeah,
Then-
wallpaper. That's what I was
actual
told.
wallpaper
But
was what I was
this,
told.
this technology has been around. They've been developing it for the past like 5 years, and I think now that's starting to become more commercial
When
use.
we got like I remember they first started talking about this when we got OLEDs. It became like
Yeah.
a manufactured thing.
Yeah.
And as they've gotten cheaper, like this sort of thing is just going to become more and more feasible for the casual market.
NetHex1, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the chat. If you guys look real quick, real break. That doesn't make any sense.
That was good.
But I stumbled over my own words. Follow us. If you're watching us, follow us. You'll know when we go online, and we really could use the followers, and we would love you. So
Use them for slave trade. I don't know.
okay, so let's talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about today in our last segment here. Resident Evil 0 being up-res.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of people thought that was the sort of the impetus behind what became the co-op in the rest of the series. So Resident Evil 4 came out after 0, I believe,
Yes.
and that was not co-op, but it had Ashley in it.
Yeah.
And in Resident Evil 0, you switched between
Billy.
Billy and Rebecca.
That is how she said it.
Billy! So, what have been... Resident Evil has since been a co-op franchise.
Yeah.
5,
It
6,
hasn't gone back.
Revelations, they haven't gone back. Maybe the first Revelations was single player. Anyway.
Okay.
What's been your favorite co-op games? And if you're watching chat in the chat, tell us what your favorite co-op game is. Games that you play cooperatively with someone. And I'm going to exclude MMOs and MOBAs.
Okay.
If you want Warcraft is your favorite cooperative game, that's fine. But I'm really aiming for like a 2 to 4 cooperative experience.
Portal 2
Portal 2
was a strong
That's
ass
a
game.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a real good one. Who'd you play with?
Eric.
Our friend Eric.
We killed each other a lot.
Intentional.
A whole lot.
Did I call it with you, or did I
It was
do
with
Portal
Chuck.
2 with Chuck?
You did
Yeah.
it with Chuck.
Crusty
Yeah,
Chuck,
you did
who's
call him.
on the
Nobody
podcast.
played with me.
The Corporate Cal says Halo 1. NetHack says talk about Arrow and Stardust. I've never seen Arrow. Have you guys seen
I've seen
the show
Arrow.
Arrow? What do you think?
It's all right.
We'll jump back to co-op here in a second. Is it? Should I watch? Should I watch it?
How do you appreciate your?
Okay, so I can.
You should watch
you
it.
like good-looking
Italics.
I do like good looking.
Well, you might really like that show then.
Pretty people doing pretty people things.
Yeah.
That's every show on CW though, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Does it have like a supernaturally CW kind of feel to it? Where
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, but Arrow's about Green Arrow. It's about Oliver Queen, and like he was on an island for a while. Now he's back, and then it's weird. He's like protecting the city, and I won't kill people, and I have Batman voice, and like it's
I thought
all
he did
right.
kill
It's good.
people.
I thought he killed a shitload of people.
Hey, yeah, he does.
He kills a shit. So I've never
He
seen Arrow.
reformed.
I've never seen Arrow, but one of my friends at work described Arrow like this. So there's a guy, and he's really good with a bow and arrow, like the Hawkeye DC equivalent of Hawkeye, I guess.
Yeah.
And he has a rule that he doesn't kill people. So he'll get to like the bad guy, and he'll want them to atone because he doesn't want to kill him. except that he killed scores of people to get to the bad guy. So, like, security guys, fuck you, I'm gonna get to Kingpin, and then he can atone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird. It reminds me very much of like a. And people are gonna be pissed off, but in the best kind of way, like a soap opera. It's very involved. There are a lot of different things going on, a lot of different storylines, and you sort of, if you catch an episode here and there, you can keep up, which is what I did, because Leah would watch it.
Okay.
And I just sort of like, and I kind of like kept up and caught up
Sorta
by just watching every few episodes.
I've heard Arrow is like sort of like trash TV, but good, like good trash TV. Like it's interesting, like Supernatural. Like it's goofy. And it's not like a Paragon. It's not like Daredevil.
Like Green Arrow, you said you'd
like
always
a
be
popcorn
there.
thing.
It's a popcorn. Ooh, you want?
Sometimes
yeah.
needs me more.
It's on Netflix now, so I may give it a go. Same thing with Flash. Like I've heard people really like Flash, but also people really like Gotham, and that show fucking blew.
Yeah.
It was straight up bad.
Okay.
If you liked Gotham, you're welcome to. You actively dislike Gotham.
People fucking like Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
So
That's fine.
if you like retarded people doing retarded things, then yeah, that's your thing.
So co-op gaming.
Okay.
Jumping back.
I got one.
Portal 2.
Okay. They need to make another one of these, and I'm not talking about Titanfall.
Okay.
Titanfall was not it. Mech Assault.
Okay.
Because, like, you got in your mech, and you shot other mechs, right?
Yeah.
But, like, you could also, like, destroy the buildings.
You could lay waste.
You could run your mech through a building in order to get to somebody on the other side to shoot them.
And it would crumble and fall. Like,
and that was really
remember
fun.
Blast Corps on the N64?
Yeah.
Just the whole that whole game was you're in a mech and blowing up buildings. It was sort of like a mix between Mech Assault and Rampage.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Mech
Mech
Assault.
Assault was the first game that we played online.
On the Xbox.
On Xbox Live. They launched Xbox Live alongside Mech Assault, I believe. Corporate Cal, that was an awesome game. Which one? Mech Assault or Blast Corps?
Obviously Mech Assault.
But yeah, that was the one where when we went online with it, so it had a co-op component, I believe, and then there was the online death matches and stuff. Sam would get in a mech, start shooting at someone, and they start to run away, and he would sing the song, "If you turn your back on me, I'll love you from behind," and would destroy them from the rear. So that was
that's pretty impressive.
Mech Assault was good. Joseph, have you co-ops?
I mean, there's like games that I've like played that had the option to co-op, but weren't like designed to be cooperative. And that's kind of where I'm thinking. It's like, I played Borderlands 2 co-op, and that was a lot of fun. But I'm actually trying to think more like games that were designed to have cooperative actions. Because if not, then you're just having a single-player game with the ability to have another person just play the game, and it's still kind of fun.
It's like playing Diablo or something. It's like you can play that game. It's way more fun to play it with people, but like the bosses get harder, the mobs get harder, and better loot drops. But it's not like Portal or Resident Evil 5 or something like that, where you have to have that other person.
Yeah, designed for the other person.
Yeah, and I think that there are like true cooperative games far and few between.
Yeah.
And I don't play games nearly enough as you guys who apparently have nothing to do with your life but play fucking video games.
That's what we do here.
I'm not judging you, but I'm like, I don't have that time.
My favorite co-op game was actually the opposite. It was an open world. It was made for
multiple
1 to 2 people. It was Crackdown. On Xbox 360.
I thought that was cool too.
The shit out of that game
you
because
could get in a car and your friend could pick your car up and throw you.
Yeah, and you could. The whole game was just an open map, and you didn't have to stay in the same area. Mm-hmm. You could literally be like, I'm going to do the single player, and the other person could be like, I'm also going to do the single player, and you could both do it in the same world. Like, I'm going to go take out this drug boss. If you want to go take out one of the other ones, great. Or do we want to go in and do it together? Like, I'll get in a truck, I'll crash through the front gate with you in the bed of the truck, like mowing people down as we do it. And then sometimes you could stop and shoot at each other. And so, like, someone would get in a car and, like, drive up and come at me, and it had this really cool targeting system where if you targeted a person, you could target their body when you first targeted them, and then flick to switch to arm, head, leg. Same thing with a car. You target the car, and it would be like the body or the hood or the door, and then you could flick to tire, gas tank, windshield, stuff like that. And so, like, Sam would get in a car, come driving off, turn around, and come barreling at me, and I just like, wait for it, flick down to the tire, shoot it, and then he would spin, turn, and the car would start rolling and shit. And it was just the most exciting fucking thing, like just
that's badass.
Screwing around in the world.
So I've never played this, but I enjoy the idea behind it. So I've seen Steven play GTA Online a lot.
Oh, the heists were so
and the
good.
heists that he played, I know you can do by yourself because Steven did them by himself a couple times. But I know that it's super fucking difficult to do it by yourself. So you kind of need people to help you out with that. And I think the idea behind that cooperative gameplay is fascinating. That you need people to make it interesting and a little bit easier and manageable.
So there were some setup things you could do on your own. When you did the heists like proper, you did have to have other people because there's one person, for example, the first sort of preliminary one that introduces you to the heists. You each have jobs, and in that first one, I was the driver and the crowd control, and the other guy was the hacker and the driller. So, like, I drive us there, and we both get on the drive there. I'm getting us there, and he's hacking the security system, and he only has a certain amount of time. And it's like a snake game where you have to not hit the edges and run stuff. And if he fucks that up, like, we get fucked. So he's sitting there, like, trying to do this thing before it gets over, and I'm trying to, like, make sure the car doesn't get screwed up. We get there, we bust in, I start shooting in the air, telling people down, making sure nobody reaches for alarms and shit, while he's drilling through the safe deposit box, and we're also running out of time, and the cops, like, the alarm's going off. And, you know, if I don't get things done right, and then the cops show up, and then I have to make sure that we're covered so he can get in, because if anybody dies, we have to start all over.
Oh.
And so it's... Yeah,
that's intense.
That was good co-op.
So I think I would if I were to play a cooperative game, I would love to play that one because the interactions between everybody is so necessary.
Yeah, it's good. And communication. So the last thing, if you guys have any other co-op gems to throw out there, you're welcome to.
Playing Resident Evil 5 with Eric was really fun. We had a really good time doing that.
Yeah.
And, like, I will never pick up that game again.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in playing that game again.
Playing through it that first time with Eric, I was like, this is good. And then, like, thinking back to it, I'm like, that game wasn't good.
See, I loved the first chapter of Resident Evil 6 with Leon and Helena because it was, like, zombies and horror and stuff like that. Lightning flashes, dark and everything. And the thing that I loved about it, and I've mentioned this to you guys before, was that we very rarely, like, straight up died.
I need
very
ammo,
rarely,
Jesus!
But we were always out of ammo and out of healing. So we were just scraping by. And Mike hated that because he couldn't get a handle on the situation. Yeah. And I loved it because we were just barely getting through, but we were getting through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that first part of 6.
Man, at Resident Evil Outbreak, playing that with you guys, that was super fun. On the PlayStation.
Oh, Outbreak on PS2 was...
God.
That was a good one, too. That was tough.
This is not a cooperative game by any means at all, but I remember Eric came into town one time, and it was like a shitload of people at my old apartment, and we played Heavy Rain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we played...
You played a cooperative version of Heavy Rain.
Yeah, we played Schizophrenic Heavy Rain, where, like, everybody's, like, shouting out, do this, do that, do this! And so, like, we're just kind of, like, tunneling around, like, aimless people.
Oh.
All right, have another drink. Have another drink. All right, okay. Have another drink.
Before we get to the fill in the blank by Joseph, NetX wanted to ask us about the raptors in Jurassic World. I read an article about the CG, and so looking back at the first Jurassic Park and looking at this new Jurassic World trailer, Jurassic Park used a lot of animatronics. The raptors in Jurassic Park, I think, were actually mostly CG. There were a few animatronics. Like when he lifts his head up.
It was a lot of practical effect.
But it was a lot of practical. I think like the kitchen scene with the raptors was mostly CG. But it was good CG. Very rare you saw a full raptor doing crazy shit. It was like you see their feet and it knocks a spoon away or something. Mm-hmm. So in Jurassic World, a lot of the shit is CG. Most of it is CG.
Yeah.
And it kind of looks...
Pretty much all of it's CG.
It looks like... We haven't been in the theater yet, so we don't know. But... CG, a lot of times these days, looks like trash. Even in the Avengers, like when they're slashing at Ultron robots and shit, like, there's no, like, stoppage or yank on anything. Like, he'll stab and pull
and it explodes into a billion pieces.
Yeah, or whatever.
Something like that.
So, have you guys seen the Jurassic World trailers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think, from what you've seen, does it look fine, look bad? Not overall, but let's talk about specifically, like, the raptors and the CG.
They look okay, but it's like that thing where it's... that guy I can't remember the name of the actor guy, and he's standing there
Chris Pratt.
to like a blue screen, and he's like raptors, and it's like
there's nothing around it.
Yeah.
The physics of them, like, it's real brief.
I think they should have had like some crocodiles in there, like, who were like trying to attack him, but like handlers were like holding them back and like, bro, seriously, like, oh my god, everybody calm the fuck down.
Cal says it looks mediocre. Don't get me wrong, I want it to be good. I want really hard for it to be good and for it to look good.
So here's the thing that I've noticed about CGI, and there's an article that was kind of like mentioning these points as well, is that, you know, before in the days of CGI, they only used CGI when they absolutely needed to
fill in the gaps.
And it was like very close shots, and they're like, it
wasn't obscured by rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, you
know, and nowadays CGI is used fucking everything.
Up front,
they made an entire movie out of CGI. You know, Beowulf. You know, they did that, and so now CGI is such an easy tool for people to use that they show everything. They have this huge window of like, oh yeah, this is all CGI here, and because they do that, it looks fake because we know what the fuck real things look like with our own actual human eyes.
You know, one of the instances I really enjoy of the implementation of CGI has actually been in Game of Thrones this season. Like, they use it when they gotta use it. Like, especially, like, the last episode. Like, that guy is, like, wearing makeup. And he has, like, the blue eyes and shit. But, like, they're showing these crazy creatures. But that guy, that's a guy, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And the dragons are CG.
But you don't see them super often.
They're not a lot. And there are some times, like, the dragons, like, and then there's sometimes the dragon's like, ooh, you know. So
I'm gonna
just like a real dragon.
I'm gonna specifically point to the any battle scenes in space in Battlestar Galactica, the new one. How like they kind of like show this free cam that zooms in real quickly on a thing and it zooms out, and you don't really get a good perspective exactly of what you're looking at, but it kind of makes it
brain fills in.
It makes it feel so much bigger than what you're actually looking at.
Firefly the same. It's not like. It's not like Star Wars where there's a million things going on. You see it and it swings around and goes through all this shit. It's like there's like a dude who's trying to capture as much of the battle as he can, but he can't.
And I think that's the bad thing about CGI today is that they can feel so much with it that's what they do. They don't make the battle scenes feel big.
Thing in that article, the camera doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So you could pass through an asteroid to get to keep on.
But to make it feel like it's a bigger scene than actually what you're seeing, I think is more engaging for an audience with CGI than just showing a big screen and like, oh yeah, look how tiny this thing is and how big this thing is.
So real quick, because we were going to have to wind this up, do you like that Chris Pratt can command raptors like you can train a dog or anything? I'll tell you, I thought that was fucking cool. Like, neat.
It's fine. I mean, if it's implemented well in the story, then I'm like, but
do you remember in Jurassic Park 3 where he can talk to him? Remember he found
that.
He could talk to him.
Oh, he found like the larynx thing. That's right.
Get away from me.
I think it's fucking hokey.
It's hokey.
I think it's fucking hokey.
Go find me some food.
I think this is the only that is going to be a thing that's going to be necessary for the storyline. I think it's going to be implemented in it, but I think that's the only real thing that they have to be like, this is a new Jurassic Park because people can talk to dinosaurs now.
Actually,
I've seen Dr. Dolittle, okay?
And
it's dumb.
Real quick, the last thing. First of all, both Assassin, thanks for joining us in the podcast and chatting. We appreciate you. Follow us. We would love to have you follow us. He mentioned Elder Scrolls Online on Xbox One. We touched on Elder Scrolls a couple weeks ago when Will Roth wanted us to talk about it. Do you guys prefer playing MMOs on PC or on console, or do you give a shit at all?
PC.
PC?
Oh, well, yeah, PC.
You're a PC.
I think the only MMOs I've ever done have been on PC. So I have no
I played on
comparison.
both.
Yeah.
I think, if
you can call it
helps with the keyboard and the mouse and stuff, but honestly, I prefer to play MMOs on console. My friends list is there. We've been playing Neverwinter with Jonathan and Sam.
If they ever fucking come out with a Pokemon MMORPG, I would be fucking on that.
You're all over it?
Like, whatever. Yeah,
but
like on the handheld, so like that would be mine.
So you want to sell Wii U's?
I will be to Pokemon MMO. Yeah, that's a good point. For Elder Scrolls on Xbox One, I'm down. Corporate Cal says John hates PCs. What are you talking about? Got him.
Proud of him.
Elder Scrolls on Xbox One, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try to get through Neverwinter. I'm going to try and get like Sam and a couple people into Elder Scrolls Online on Xbox One. It's easy to communicate. I know there's Vent, and I know that Ventrilo and stuff like that. I know that's there.
That's right.
It's
you
tough.
are weird about that
It's
stuff.
like there's a bunch of other shit to use, and I don't know that my computer is going to play it very well. I know that Xbox One is going to. I know it's fine, but I know Xbox One. I'm going to have my friends list. The cross media stuff is all going to work together. It's going to work, and if it doesn't, I can take it back. If Elder Scrolls downloads and it doesn't work on my PC, that's a bummer, man. Or maybe it'll sort of work. Maybe I can put it on low settings and the chat will work most of the time. You know, like
yeah, I will say that I have a problem with League right now where if I'm in one of the most popular chat services, Curse, then it just crashes my computer.
Yeah, exactly. And you have a new gaming PC. Yeah. So, throwing that out there. I guess that's true.
Wait, so are you going to play Elder Scrolls on console?
I will play Elder Scrolls on console. Online. I will give it some
Elder Scrolls
time.
Online on console.
I'm also hoping because they're doing when they roll out Windows 10 that PCs and Xbox Ones will now be able to co-game.
That would be awesome.
So that would be great. If I could get John on Elder Scrolls, like, hey, let's try out Elder Scrolls for a month, and I'll play on Xbox One, and he'll play on PC, and Sam will be on Xbox One. That'd be tits.
That'd be super cool.
Balls.
I like that.
Wait, good balls.
The good balls.
The good balls kind.
Not the bad kind.
Joseph, we have done the fill in the blank since you have left the podcast and done stuff. But you're back now, and so you're going to fill in the blank.
Just for today.
What's going to happen is Joseph is going to give us a headline. He's going to omit a word or phrase. We will take a guess as to what it means, and then he will tell us the story behind it. In the chat, if you want to take a guess, there's about a 30-second lag, so we will give time.
Yeah, I'll take a time at this. All right, so here's the headline. Concerned citizen mistakes life-size toy for blank.
A life-size
toy for blank.
Concerned citizen mistakes life-size toy for blank. Yeah, concerned citizen. So, so do we normally fill the blank of Joseph? Yes. Joseph was the originator of the fill in the blank.
Yes.
So this is your time to toss out your options.
Yeah, so I'll give you some time to figure it out. Concerned citizen mistakes life-size toy for blank.
For drowning child.
Okay.
There's been a lot of floods. I don't know. That life-size Barbie.
Oh my god.
Burglar.
For burglar, all right, nice.
Burglar, okay. I'm going to say. Corporate Cal says terrorist. Mistakes life-size toy for terrorist.
He's not too off.
He's not too far off.
We'll explain.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm going to say that concerned citizen mistakes life-size toy for sex partner.
I'm really concerned. She just hasn't been showing me enough affection.
Or shark.
So this headline comes from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So one Thursday, a call was made by a concerned neighbor as they left the house. Believing that this life-size toy was a threat, they called the police. Police then forwarded this call to animal control. Now, after responding to the call, Supervisor Joe Daniels grabbed his safety gear and also coworker Rachel Jensen. Whenever they got there, the man that had did the original calling was armed with a shield and a pole to protect himself against the stuffed toy.
What was it?
Because whenever Rachel Jensen approached the animal, she realized that there was nothing dangerous about the life-size toy tiger.
I think there's a tiger on the loose.
There was a life-size toy tiger in the middle of their driveway. It was an abandoned house, and it was just on the driveway. So the citizen calls like, "There's a fucking tiger. Get the fuck here now.
Get over here."
Because, tigers roam around Michigan all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my shield and pole.
Like they did in the olden times.
Oh, man. That's too good. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and watching us. Thanks for listening if you're listening on the podcast. If you've been in chat, thanks for the chat.
Yeah.
Follow us. Follow us on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Ingrid.
Hey, listen. Don't not only follow us, but also here's a goal. If you enjoy us, if you like us, if you follow us, tell 2 people about us. 2 people a day. That's all you have to do. Tell them about us. And let them spread the news, all right? If you enjoy us, spread it, all right?
Corporate Cal says that the tiger was Hobbs and that he just goes wherever the fuck he faces. So. That's good. Reminder that we will be at Dallas Comic-Con in October. And I'm going to remind you of that constantly.
so much that you're not going to want to come and see us.
Oh, fuck you guys, man.
But we will be playing. I'll probably either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be playing some Dark Souls 2. I'll be finishing up my doctorate degree and going for my scholarship in Dark Souls 2.
In like actual life.
No,
I'm
just
sorry.
my series of videos. And visit our webcomic at angrycuddles.com, and that's also where the podcast is. You can watch this video on YouTube on Wednesday if you want.
If you don't know what the fuck I'm doing here on this podcast, it's because I'm the artist.
He's gonna, Joseph draws all the shit. He makes the shit.
Yeah.
He makes the visuals.
Yeah.
So angrycuddles.com for the web comic. Mike writes the game tales on Friday. Inspired by things that happen when he games, he writes a short story about it. My name is Steven.
This is Mike.
It's John.
I'm Joseph.
Thanks, guys, for listening, and we will catch you guys next Monday at 12:30. Where
Bye-bye.
is the stop?
It's right there.
Let's tear this place apart.